heritage is very much in the folk side, as you might imagine, from the fiddle playing, the mandolin and such like. But I also play a lot of reggae music, where I play keyboards, and it's a very big part of the music that I listen to and what I like to play. So I learnt piano to start off with when I was a kid, and moved on to acoustic guitar and mandolin, and then in my 20s I took up the fiddle, and I have my own band called Jig of the Dub, which is a mixture of folk and reggae, and I also do recording sessions with the fiddle in particular, or with vocals. I front the band that I'm in, and I guest in various bands every now and again, do work for Ian and Mike recording wise. Well, I've worked with Ian for many years now. We used to be in a band together called The Loafers, which was a sort of folk rock band doing stuff like Levellers and Pogues and such like. So we also did a duo performance together, which we did several residencies at cafes and bars and such like, which lasted a couple of years, and it sort of came as no surprise that Ian asked me to play on the because he asked everybody else he knew, and I was the only person who played the fiddle. So for the more folky sounding tracks that he wanted, he asked me. As always with Ian, it's great fun being in the studio with him and doing nursery rhymes and such like. It just sort of extends that, and we have a good laugh and take the mickey out of each other generally while we're performing and recording. And it was very much like that. It was a great time. It was very intense and hard work, but good fun as well. I remember particularly trying to put some banjo parts down and it not really working out until I got my head around it. Other than that, it all seems a long time ago. So I think the appeal of this album, for me certainly, is that we'll have a party or something, we get loads of kids around, and we'll put the music on, and the kids get on with their usual dancing around, doing their musical chairs, playing their games and what have you. They love the nursery rhymes for the recognising of them, and but also the parents always ask, where did you get this from? Where did you find out about this? Because it's so much more appealing for the parents, and I think that was the original concept, was to get it appealing for adults as well as children, and they've certainly done that. I think it's worked really, really well. You've got everything from sort of folky sounding tracks through to rock and pop sounding tracks, 60s instrumentation, a lot of different male and female vocals, and it's so varied in style. Every track, as they run along, they have a slightly different feel, but they're tied together with all the musicians that Ian's got to play on the album. So I really do think it's, if you're going to buy a compilation of nursery rhymes and it's going to have a general overall appeal, then this is going to be the one for you. I've never been asked to play on a nursery rhymes album before. I've played a lot in front of children, and I know what they tend to like, which is sing-along choruses and anything that they can get involved with. But then of course the adults have to want to put the music on for them to get involved with in the first place. So I think that's probably something that has been lacking, is that some of the nursery rhymes that you hear, the recorded nursery rhymes, are perhaps very staid and sort of lacking expression, and it's certainly not the case with this one. Every track you listen to, you sort of think, well, regardless of whatever style they're playing in, there's definitely a lot of enthusiasm, and it's all very upbeat kind of music. So perhaps that would be my criticism of a lot of recorded children's music, is it's just too nice and it needs roughing up a bit and putting into the modern realm.
Tell us about your recent involvement with the German children's song album.
Right, well, Mike is obviously Ian's colleague. They did the majority of the playing together for the English Nursery Rhyme CD, and Mike in particular was very pleased with the fiddle parts that I'd done on the English version, and when he came to do the German version, decided that he'd asked me to go in and do an extra session, which was great. It was same again, but probably more regimented and definite requirements for certain tracks, some of them similar to what I'd already played on the previous album, particularly the part on Hey Diddle Diddle, which has got some rising and falling arpeggios, fast arpeggios, and that's very much what he wanted for a couple of the tracks on the German one. Then there was also a slower one which I designed a few melodies for, and Ian suggested a few things as well. And I'm very proud of what I did actually on the German one in particular, because there was more pressure on me to perform in a particular way, and I think it came over really, really well. And it's a great album, fantastic production on the German one, I think.
And what do you think the children can learn from hearing and singing nursery rhymes and vice versa?
Togetherness. Songs that children know and sing together brings them together. It gives them a reason to want to be together, much like them listening to a story or poetry or whatever, but with an element of performance in there so that they can sing together, and they just absolutely love it. It's really mostly about enjoyment. I think the learning aspect of it will depend on very much of which nursery rhyme it is. There's a lot of messages behind these nursery rhymes which the children would probably have absolutely no idea about. But of course, as they get older, they do get to understand maybe what they're about, and some of them are very straightforward and obvious to them, and others they just sing the words because they love them. And I think music in general is such a fantastic thing for people of all ages, whether you're listening or partaking and playing yourself. There's something fantastic about teaching children to like music and to take part in it.